it's me, and I'm sitting on my hair, so I shall move off it. How are you doing? I thought I'd just do a very, very quick update today because I don't have any updates as it were. Other than the fact that I've lost the ability to speak English. These are my new glasses. Do you like them? Very cool, aren't they? Actually, they're not my new glasses. I found them. I think they were some glasses that Oliver used to have when he was a baby, and somehow the lenses fell out. I've put on makeup today because I could actually wear makeup, and I'm starting to practice again because why not? I went for my update yesterday, my post-op, 1 week post-op on my left eye. Oh, I can see the camera. Oh, I can't see anything. And I had to go without my glasses because honestly, even without the lens in, the prescription is so distorted. I mean, now it's so different in both eyes. Not that it was identical in both eyes before, but it is really different now. That it feels like I'm walking on really lumpy ground, and I just can't do it. And it gives me a headache. It makes me feel, what's that word I'm looking for? Motion sickness, and I've forgotten the word. It's gone out of my mind. What is it? The word that I'm looking for is fluff. Is when I think there was an Alfred Hitchcock film named, I don't know. Anyway, it's where you have like I can't even describe it. You know, it's where you're off balance, off kilter, and anyway, I'm getting more motion sickness, and I'm also getting a lot of headaches. Or I was getting a lot of headaches, so I decided, and I'm still getting a few headaches because, quite honestly, it's really hard with one eye being so much worse than the other. With glasses, it's just, anyway, I went for the appointment, and the guy says, well, first of all, the technician saw me, and she said, wow, you still got blurry vision, and I said, wow, yes, I do. So she looked through my records, and she said, didn't you have cataract thing? And I said, yes. And she says, didn't you have the toric lens put in? And I said, yes. And she said, so you didn't have your distance vision corrected? And I said, no, I had my close-up reading vision corrected, or whatever. Not corrected, but made so that I could see close. And he didn't do it close enough, so I'm still not able to read where I want to be able to read, because if I'm having to hold my iPad off the side of the bed, if I'm on my side, then it defeats the purpose of having had an upgraded lens, which cost me $1,500, because I would have needed reading glasses without the upgraded lens. And so that's why I went and got the upgraded lens, so I wouldn't need bifocal glasses. And she said, oh, well, that's not usual. I said, everybody's telling me that's not usual, that, you know, blah blah, you could have had your distance vision corrected. I don't care about my distance vision. I've never had a problem wearing glasses. I actually like wearing glasses because they cover my face. And so she said, oh, so you're still... So anyway, they did an eye test, and I thought, well, I had it done the day after. I had it done the week before. Why are we testing my eyes? We know my eyesight is horrendous. Anyway, so she did, oh, you still need a prescription on your left eye. And obviously, you're getting your right eye done next week. I said, yes. Then I saw the actual optician, and he did the whole thing. Pressure's fine in the eye. The eye's recovering fine, and everything's looking good. He says the right eye's good to be done next week. I'm like, great, because I'm getting it done. Because otherwise, I'm going to have these horrible, uneven eyes. And so did all that, went to pay. They were having, the lady at the receptionist was having this huge conversation with a lady who wanted to have, she's apparently having cataract surgery, in June or something, and her insurance is paying for that. The medical insurance is paying for that. And because she doesn't have optical, whatever it's called, insurance, I'm just fixing a bit of a snaggy bit in my nail. And because she doesn't have optical, whatever, vision insurance, she can't get her eyes tested unless she pays for it, which is like $120 for an eye test. And she said, well, and I'm thinking, why is she going to have glasses made if she's got a cataract surgery in June? And I thought, well, maybe with the non-upgraded lens, with the standard lens, your eyesight doesn't change at all. Interesting. But still, she couldn't get it sorted out. She wants to get her eyes tested before her freaking thing, and then she said she had floaters. I thought, you haven't even heard of floaters, biatch, because I've got dementors in my eyes. I'm going to ask him about that actually next week, the ophthalmologist, because I know I think there are only 2 procedures they can do, and I don't want to have either of them done. So I was wondering if there's anything I can try. I have a supplement, but I haven't been taking it. Bad me. Anyway, yeah, so, is it fear of heights? That's not the sensation I have in my head when I'm walking. But it's like, have you ever worn a pair of glasses that weren't yours, and you're walking along and the ground is like going like this? Vertigo, that's the one, but it's not vertigo. And the ground is going like this. That's what it feels like when I'm walking around with my glasses on. That's why I'm not doing it. Right now, it felt like before when I was wearing my glasses and I had the big, huge cataract thing in this eye. Well, for me it was huge. Now it feels like that in this eye because it's really blurry and this eye can see decently well. I mean, I'd need glasses. So anyway, at the end of the appointment, she says, well, you owe us $1,200. And I said, excuse me, boing. My eyes bugged out. I don't owe you anything. Not till next week, at least. And she said, oh, that's right. She looks through the file again. She says, oh, that's right. Then, in that case, your next thing is get cataract fixed. I'm like, whoa, another stating of the obvious. And then she and the optician and the assistant had all said the same thing. You still need glasses. And I'm like, wow, somebody help me pick my jaw off the ground. I need glasses. Oh, wow, did not know that. Anyway, that was the update from my eye thing. I'm looking forward to next week, so at least I'll have even vision. I'm still going to have the laser thing done on this eye because as much as it sort of takes a month for the eye to correct, and it's been a week and a day to settle, I mean, seeing to read hasn't changed significantly where I can feel comfortable with both eyes, because I can read here with the right eye, which hasn't been done yet, but I can't with this eye, so I don't want to have my freaking things off the edge of the bed and then falling on the floor or whatever. So that'll be that. I'll get that done next week. But the thing I'm looking forward to the most, although I'm dreading it, is the whole breast reconstruction. But really the right side has been bugging me so much. I mean, it's like it dislocates. Seriously feels like it dislocates if I lean. And I'm doing weights as much as I can. I'm not lifting on the right, just lifting my arm. Still lifting with my left. But I've found a lot of inspiration on Instagram, which is really weird because I've never really looked on Instagram, and then I found that there are lots of really gung-ho fitness women who are either sort of battling through breast cancer right now, or have been through breast cancer and have maintained their fitness levels through chemotherapy and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, well, this is just a breast expander, tissue expander that has, I don't know, fallen and is constantly clipping if I lean forward. I'm wearing a really, really, really small, tight sports bra now. I put it on this morning, and it's helping a bit because it's really constricting. the reconstruction bras that I have don't really support. I mean, I don't know what they're for really, quite honestly. But this is really constricting. And then I'll just be wearing proper bras from now on, because they at least will pull me or support this thing, because I don't feel as bad today as I have done for the last 2 weeks. And today's a weights day, so I'm going to try it with weights. But these women on Instagram are so inspirational to me, because they've had, and I mean, this last week I've been obsessing because of this one woman on the Facebook group I'm on, who found out 2 years after her original stage 0 DCIS diagnosis that she's got a lump on the side where she had a mastectomy, not on the other side that she didn't. She has found out she's got, well, she found a lump in her armpit, and they biopsied it and it was cancerous. And so she went to her appointment yesterday, and it looks like she's got to go through chemotherapy and radiation, which she didn't before, and she didn't get on tamoxifen because of stroke family history. But she had a grade 3 cancer, which I've been really obsessing about this, because to me, if a grade 0 as a stage 0, which means it was just in her ducts and her node was clean that they took out, if a stage 0 has a recurrence, then what about stage 1? So I know I was stage 1 and grade 1. And I've been looking up and researching this because, frankly, I mean, I did hear this from my breast surgeon, but, you know, this was right at the beginning, and a lot of it didn't stay because it was scary. Stage 1, grade 1 in a cancer is where the cell is the closest to a healthy cell, and it's the slowest growing. Doesn't mean to say that a recurrence would be the same grade or anything like that, but I'm just saying what I had. Grade 2 is where it's slightly different from a normal cell, and the growth rate is a bit more speedy. And then this grade 3, which is where the cell is nothing like a healthy cell, and it's what they term an aggressive cell form, grade, whatever. But it made me start thinking, and it's made me start obsessing. So for the last week I've been obsessing about it again, and I'm thinking, and I came to the conclusion yesterday through all these other women who've I've been checking their fitness stuff on Instagram. I came to the conclusion that I need a second opinion. They may just confirm everything that I was told, or they may allay my fears, or they may say, well, maybe you should be on tamoxifen or something for a year or 2, I don't know. Or they may just say, hey, we'll look through your stuff and let's do this. Whatever, I don't care. I need a second opinion. Because I don't think that I was informed thoroughly enough. And I want to have, I know that this is a normal progression for women going through the process of breast cancer, but I really feel like I've been so medically, I feel like I've been left sorting most of this out in my own head. As far as the rest, family-wise, my husband has been supportive, but I feel that I'm boring the crap out of him with this, and my children have been as well. And, you know, I hear from a couple of my cousins, but, you know, other than that, I don't really feel I've had extended family support. Oh no, Aunt Sandy, she's been really great. She's been absolutely, my husband's aunt, she went through this 10 years ago. She's been fantastic. But I feel like nobody else really has. It's kind of silly and crappy, and pathetic. But it kind of feels like because it was a stage 1, that people don't really think that it's affected me at all. And I'd like to challenge them to not be affected if they ever were to hear the words "you have cancer" uttered to them. Because you don't bounce back from it. I mean, like Sandy said, you find ways to cope with it. You never get over it. Psychologically, it's always there. It's always on your mind somewhere. You might lock it in a little room at the back of your mind, but it's always there. And if there's any issues medically, it's always the first thing that the doctors suspect or seem to think. So this past week for me has been horrible, because it's made me think that if a stage 0, okay, she was a grade 3 when she had it before, hopefully, I mean, they said it's the same. She said that from the biopsy, it was the same type of cancer, so that's probably why they're going aggressive this time. And I think, go aggressive and get rid of it. That's why I did the boobs. But was that enough? Because she did her boob and that wasn't enough. And maybe with a grade 3 she should have done radiation at the time, even with the mastectomy. But it makes me wonder, does anybody really understand what it's like unless they've been through it? I mean, I've got a couple of friends who went through it before, and as much as you sympathize, you don't actually truly understand it unless you've been through it. And it was the same when my dad died. That people can be sympathetic, but unless you've lost someone who was a pivotal person in your life, who was your father, you don't understand it. And it's the same with this. Unless it's ever been, those words have been said to you, you don't understand it. So I'm going to have weeks like the one I've been having and I'm having at the moment. And I need to find a way around it. So I think getting a second opinion will help. So I'm going to get a second opinion. I can't do it now. I have to time it between my next 2 surgeries, because the next one is next week, and then after that, hopefully, but I mean, there's so much reconstruction that he has to do, especially on the right side, but even on the left side, because there's a lot of flesh in the middle that hasn't been utilized, and it's the pocket on the right especially has formed not using some of the flesh in the middle, and so it's really shiny, very, very shiny, tight skin. I'm not going to show everything, but it's very, very shiny here, because it's pulled the skin and created its own pocket, and then there's a whole bunch of flesh in the middle that could have been used as part of the breast shape, that I'm sure he's going to have to separate and take out scar tissue and stuff, and he's going to be putting that pig stuff in there. But anyway, that one's next week. And he said it should be about 2 hours each side. Then in August, probably July, August time, I'm going to have fat grafting, so he's going to liposuction some of the little pooch that's left from the tummy tuck that he couldn't liposuction. Well, I did not want liposuction before anyway. A little bit of fat from there, and anywhere else, and put it above, or to make it look more realistic. But that will be sometime July, August time, probably August, because it's usually about 3 months. But I think next week, oopsie, almost knocked the computer off the table. Next week is going to be a little bit more extensive than I thought it was going to be originally. So it's going to require probably drains, and I don't want drains, but who cares? It's better than other options. But with the right side being so freaking annoying, I've been wondering if maybe it wasn't the right idea. I mean, the right move to get it done, but, can't go back. And as Wade said yesterday, I did it for peace of mind, even though it's not giving me peace of mind when I find out other women are getting it back, even after a mastectomy. Anyway, I wanted to show you what I made this week. I made this. I've actually put this design on my Etsy store, which is Little Elle's Workshop on Etsy. It's basically a double cobra, and I think I don't know if I showed you this, but I know I've shown you the bracelets, but I made a headband to go with it. The base of it is actually metal, a little tiny metal thing, and then I've done, this is all basically, it's a very, very thin, I don't know if you can see it, but that metal bit there, pokey outy metal bit, that's as wide as the actual band is. So this is really thick, and it's very solid, and it's all paracord. I did one cobra on the inside, which is in black, and then I did a cobra in the pink girl power, as I call it, warrior camouflage on the outside, and it's really sturdy and it's not going anywhere. So I did that to match this bracelet. I could make it like in the pink base, and that, and I'm going to try it different colours and different stitches as well, weaves as well. And then I tried a new one yesterday, and the tutorial was incredibly difficult to understand. And once I figured it out, I did it an easier way. But that's flowers. Don't know if you can see them. And then last night, that was yesterday before my appointment. And then last night I made it in pink with green base, so it looks more like a floral thing. And I made it in a different, a small clasp buckle, because the one on this one is massive, and to me, something this wide actually takes up the whole width of my wrist. So, see, it's quite wide when you put it on, and it actually takes up the whole width of my wrist. So, yeah, I don't like the big buckles. They're 5/8 inch buckles. Don't like them. They're not my favourites. At some point I might start using metal ones, but with metal, I can't tolerate metal, so I probably wouldn't be able to wear them myself. But I like the plastic ones because I'm not allergic to those ones. But I like it. I think it's very nice, and I love the pink. And I've never been a pink person before. Anyway, so I've been doing other stuff. I've set up my store. It's lovely and stuff. And I'm really excited about next week. Getting my eyes to match, vision-wise, maybe not makeup-wise, and getting this crap out of my right boob pocket thing. Is it boob if it's not a boob? If it's not real, is it a boob? I ordered, but I haven't received it yet, a t-shirt that says, yes, they're fake. My real ones tried to kill me, but I haven't received it. It's not a t-shirt, it's a tank top. I want to show you how uneven these things are, and I hate doing this because it's so embarrassing, but they're not real, and they're less real than the next ones are going to be, because these are just the tissue expanders, but it's so obvious how lopsided they are, and it's very obvious in this top because it has horizontal stitching. So let me show you how awful these things are. First of all, it's so far out to the right that it's so solid, but so far out to the right it's not even funny. This one at least is within my frame-ish. I mean, not really, but it is more. And then look how much lower it is. This one is nice and high. This one, not quite so much, really. And look how awful it is. This is my body, and that is the boob, the expander. Really impressed with that. But hey, what can you do? It's an expander. It's just expanding the muscle, and it's only there for another 8 days. And it also, because of the amount of outside-evenness of it, because really, I mean, it's so far off-center, this is where it goes, and there's a big, massive gap. It makes them look much bigger than they are, because they're not really all that big. I've seen on the DCIS group on Facebook that some women have had 850 cc's. These are only 600. But this one's so far out to the side, it makes it look huge, like I've got huge boobs, and that's much smaller than my boobs used to be. So anyway, so that's about it for today. So much for the quick update. I will put my glasses back on and try and look cool, or not. and I'll see you next time. And subscribe, thumbs up the video, and share and whatnot. If you know of anybody who's had a success story, share it with me, because I would love to hear about it. Any comments below if you have any comments. And thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye! Oh, and don't comment about the makeup. It was experimental, and I thought, well, why not? Bye!